Okay, here you've got two simple and straightforward 8th grade level questions. So the first one, let's say a is equal to 2 to the x minus 2. Then express a to the x in terms of a. If you know the simple rules of exponents, you can solve this really easily. So the common thing between these two expressions is that in both cases, the bases are in the power of 2. So this is 2 to the first power and this is 2 to the third power. So you can rewrite a as 2 to the x over 2 to the second power. If you know the rules of exponent, you should know why this is so. So in order to isolate 2 to the x, let's multiply 2 to the second power, which is 4 on both sides. Then you get 2 to the x is equal to 4a. Now let's move on to the a to the x power. For this one, we can rewrite this one as 2 to the third power raised to the x power. And we know that we can interchange these two. So we can rewrite this expression as 2 to the x power to the third power. Oh, we know what 2 to the x in terms of a is, which is 4a. So we're going to replace 2 to the x with 4a. Then this expression becomes 4a to the third power. If you unwrap this expression, then this becomes 4 to the third power, which is 64 times a cubed. So you can rewrite a to the x in terms of a as 64a. And for the second part, here, you're given two linear functions. First one, x minus 2y plus a is equal to 0. And second one, bx minus 4y plus 8 is equal to 0. And they're equivalent. And then you need to figure out which quadrant does the function y is equal to a plus b not pass. So in the first part, you need to figure out what a and b are. And once you figure them out, you need to plug them into this function and figure out which quadrant this function does not pass. So let's start from the first part. So we know that these two functions are equivalent, which means we can express this function as multiple of this function. And as you can see, minus 2y became minus 4y. So this function is multiple of this function. So minus 2 times 2 will give you minus 4. And we know that a times 2 will be 8. So a times 2 is equal to 8, which means a is equal to 4. And here, the coefficient for x is equal to 1. And 1 times 2 should be equal to b. So 1 times 2, which is b, so b must be 2. So we figured out what a and b are, so we're going to plug this in to this linear function, slope form of the linear function. So y is equal to then 4x plus 2. So those of you who mastered linear function should be able to just, without drawing this, you should be able to figure out which quadrant this function does not pass. But for those of you who cannot visualize, let's draw. So here, x-axis and y-axis. And the thing is, the y-intercept is 2. So when x is equal to 0, y passes through 2. So right there. And you can draw any point, but let's just use x-intercept for convenience. So x-intercept happens when y value is equal to 0. So we're going to put y is equal to 0 and 4x plus 2. If you move 2 to the other side, you get x. 4x is equal to minus 2. Divide by 4 on both sides, and if you do a little simplification, you are going to get x is equal to minus 1/2. So when x is equal to minus 1/2, y is equal to 0. And let's draw a line that passes through these 2 points. And there you go. So based on this, we know that this function passes through the first quadrant, second quadrant, and third quadrant, but will never gonna pass fourth quadrant, even if you extend them forever. So if you Or if you have no problem, that's great. You have a very firm foundation of math. But if you're over 8th grade, 9th grade, but you struggle through this kind of problems, this kind of easy, straightforward, clear problems, then seriously, you need help. I mean, even if you struggled, if you want to get better, if you want to get out of where you are, if you want to obtain competitive edge over everyone else, then continue to watch this video until its end. But if you're not, if you are satisfied with low grade, if you just want to settle down, if you're satisfied with what you have, what you got there, then just close this video. Get out of here. This is not for you. So for those of you who wants to get better, who wants to be better than everyone else, I'm going to offer 4 weeks intensive math and chemistry courses. For each course, I'm going to give you 1 hour of lecture every single day. From Tuesday to Friday, you're gonna get lecture. And on every Monday, you're gonna be tested. So for Algebra 1 course and Algebra 2 course, you are going to be tested on SAT type questions. And for chemistry, I'm going to pull some questions from AP Chemistry, IB Chemistry, and SAT2 Chemistry. So not only this course will get you prepared for the academic year, but also this course is going to get you prepared for SATs and APs and IBs. And beside that, I'm going to offer you study materials that your school is not going to offer you. I'm going to give you type questions that requires you think in different angles, that combines many different concepts in one question. Your school is only going to teach you how to apply one concept. If you settle down with that kind of questions, you're not gonna get too far. You're just gonna stay there. But if you want to learn more advanced questions, if you want to be able to solve more complex questions, my class is the right place for you. There, you are going to learn a lot of different problem-solving skills. And for sure, you're going to be ahead of everyone else. So if you are a type of person who wants to be the best, I'll see you in my class.